Greetings everybody! People call me Iggy, and this is a game and it's called Warning Forever. It's a game in which we shoot things aplenty. It's a shmup. But the things we shoot are bosses, exclusively. The first one, as you can see here, is called the Pure Heart. It's always called that. At least I've never had it have a different name. And the names are not completely random too. I mean, every boss will have a different name. And they will be compiled of various prefixes and suffixes and all that thing. For instance, here we have the Octa-beamed Pure Heart. Now, if we were to encounter another Octa-beamed Pure Heart, it might look different from this. They're not always the same. So while this had kind of a T shape, kind of sort of, the next one we find might be more of a circle or a straight line. But we're never really gonna find two of the same name chip, at least, in the same playthrough. What I think the name is actually supposed to tell us is the weapon loadout that the enemy ships have. And you probably noticed me having this weird green cone on occasion, or most of the time. If I press a button, which is whatever you map it to, this cone will appear and it will allow you to direct your shots. It's kind of difficult to explain, but if you move sideways, upwards, whatever, the cone will actually shift its direction. And if you move in towards the cone, or into it, it will widen, allowing you to spray your bullets wider. But I personally find it much more efficient to just focus my firepower on one enemy, or rather one part of it. Because while it is composed of a lot of parts, you can take out multiples if you destroy the part that the other parts are attached to. Of course, the one part that you absolutely want to destroy is always the core, with that purple, pinkish, reddish orb in the middle. But if you don't take out the parts that surround it or that are attached to it, then the core will have much more health. So if you say focus your fire on the core right from the beginning, it will take really long until it's actually destroyed, so it's best to completely dismantle the ship. Then again, I think dismantling the ship also gives it higher defense next time around, or at least a higher likelihood to have a shield. Which might be problematic, but the way I play at least, it very rarely actually grows a shield. Which would be orange, and kind of covers specific parts of the ship. The game starts out fairly easy, but as you can see, it gets more and more intense. Stage 10 is normally where I would say it kind of really picks up and gets a little bit hard for me. Before that, not really much of a problem. And stage 11, 12 is normally where I die, because the game does get hard really quick. And while a lot of bosses actually feel the same, well, there's always something new, kind of, which surprises you. And you might have noticed that a lot of the bosses that we are encountering actually have just new prefixes, suffixes, whatever to them. There's actually a couple bosses with unique names, which then get, of course, prefixes as well. So, there's that. And the modes of attack that the boss has, I think we've seen them all by now. We have the regular twin lasers, they call it Vulcans. They're those white things that thing fires right now. Then there's those big ass purple lasers. Then there's missiles, which we can shoot, and that's nice, makes them kind of a joke. And we also have these purple spray-y things that sometimes come up. I don't really know. But yes, those white orbs we see right now, they're also a thing. They normally kind of get shot out in a spread pattern or even a circle. And the last offensive thing it can do is thrust. Sometimes the boss will get thrusters, which will allow it to move really fast. And that orange part there, yeah, I said it earlier, that's actually a shield. And the shield makes it kind of difficult to hit that part. I'm not sure if it makes it completely invulnerable to damage, but at the very least it will make it harder to kill. But hey, you can just, you know, destroy the part it's attached to and that part will be gone too, no problem. In general, it's much quicker that way. I know, look at that, it gets huger and huger. Oh yeah, but by the way, I did not explain this yet, but we don't really have lives, but you see we just died. And the timer in the top right went down a couple seconds, I think 20, when we died. And when the timer reaches 0, well, we lose. So our goal is to actually keep that timer as high as possible, to make the game go for as long as possible in order to get the highest score possible. Of course, the longer we play, the harder it will get. And we only get a fixed amount of seconds back every time we kill a boss. So we need to be fast too, there's not really a good way to just cheese it. And while our ship doesn't really get any new exciting powers, the one it does have is tremendously useful. You kind of have to shoot in various directions to even make it possible to win. Say, because right now, I would really have trouble if you could only fire up. And let me tell you, first time I played this game, I did not know that you have to do this, or that you even can do this. Which made it really, really difficult, and I thought this game was kind of bullshit, but it wasn't. There's also a button that lets you move slower if you hold it down, but I never use it. I suppose that some of the pros out here will actually find the use for it, but I certainly don't. I kind of play this game at a casual level occasionally, and truth be told, the only reason I reinstalled it was because this thread went up and I decided, yeah, hey, I remember this game. I think I should play it again. And it's still fun. It's a game that I like to waste a couple minutes on occasionally. It's just I needed this thread to actually think of its existence again. And it's kind of sad that the official page is not up anymore, but you can still download it from various sources. I'll include a link in the thread as well. I mean, it is a completely free game after all, so you might as well give it a shot. And I did Google the designer of this game, Hikosa Okubo, and I did not really find any other games that he made or was involved in. At least not on the first page of the results. Anyway, stage 12, I got farther than I actually expected. I normally die around stage 12, but now we're at 13. And this is something that's never happened before, but one of the bosses had the name Excellence in it. Not in this playthrough though. But it was kind of really crazy, and it was really hard to even move without dying. I'm a little sad that it didn't record it. But hey, we should be able to take out this one too, and maybe even reach 14. And we still have enough time. But yeah, as you play, of course, you also get kind of exhausted and die more stupid deaths. But don't let that deter you from actually having fun with this game. So if you look at this little diagram here, you can see that there's actually also a way for the core to upgrade, but I don't really know what a core upgrade would entail. Really, I'm not sure at all. And now just pay attention to my sick dodges, especially when I dodge bullets that I can't even see. I'm a real pro at this game. So do you think I can still make it, like, in 10 seconds? Yeah, I know, I'm not fooling anybody. I just lost. And that's Warning Forever. You should give it a shot, I think. See ya.